Hello friends, my name is Suhei with Suhei Plans, and today I have for you the Sterling Ink 5-Year Diaries in Mist and in Caramel in the B6 size. I am recording this video pretty early before the kids wake up, so I'm kind of still in wake up mode myself. But I really wanted to share these because there's just a few days left until the new year, and I want to jump into these, and I have some prepping that I want to do as well. So I kind of wanted to squeeze in this video. As you can tell, the wrapping's off, they're out of their boxes. This is not a true unboxing by any means, but I do want to go through these gorgeous books and talk a little bit about how they arrived, what I intend to use them for, and do a flip of the actual book. So these gorgeous books, as I mentioned, are in B6 size, and they arrived in boxes that are very similar to the Common Planner, with Sterling Ink etched in the front, in that black box, without the drawer from last year, which is fine. But what's special about the 5-Year Diaries is they have the words 5-Year Diary etched on the side of the box. This is an absolutely stunning detail. Pardon, I actually gasped when I saw this because I just thought this was so beautiful. I am just envisioning how perfect this is going to be on a bookshelf, how easily identifiable I'll be able to find these on a bookshelf. And best of all, they're on both sides of the box. So it doesn't matter kind of which way you put them on your bookshelf. This beautiful 5-Year Diary embossing is going to be on the side. Something that I want to say really quickly also is that Catherine, she's put a lot of thought and detail into her products, but I do feel that there is something special about the 5-Year Diary. I watched her 5-Year Diary review video where she was reviewing a couple of different 5-Year Diaries, and I could just tell how important, how special she thinks this product is. And I am not surprised that she brought her own 5-Year Diary to life. And I think everything about these diaries really just show how special this product was to her. And I think the first place that you can really see that is in that embossing on the side. I'm sure all of her products are special. I don't, how they say you don't have a favorite child. This might be a favorite child if I had to guess. Catherine, I'm sorry if that is incorrect, but that's just my guess because I just feel like this product was made really intentionally, and it is so beautiful. Starting with this gorgeous box. So they came in, typical plastic wrap, very well protected, also with kind of some bubble mailer to, so the planners arrived impeccably perfect. On the cover, they say 5-Year Diary in gold. I did get the gold edging, but there is also a white edge option. This is the B6, but you can also find it in A5. On the side, it says 5-Year Diary also in gold. Nothing on the bottom there. And then on the back, you have 5-Year Diary designed by Sterling Ink. Oh, pardon my nails. This was a very impromptu video. Was not on the schedule. So that is the outside of the 5-Year. The 5-Year Diary also comes in forest if that's a color option that you're interested in. And as you can see, Caramel has the same layout. So let's flip through this one. It doesn't matter which, let's flip through. Show you kind of what it's like, and then I'll talk a little bit about what I'm thinking about. Oh, but sorry, before I move on to packaging, each of the diaries also came with a small black envelope that's housing the yearly date stamp. I liked this even more in person. The font matches the font inside the diary, and the quality looks really good, so that I feel confident that I'll get a really clean stamp and a really clean stamped number from the quality of the stamp. So that's a really exciting and awesome addition. And I'll just leave that there. Let's jump in to the mist here. And again, both of them are exactly the same on the inside. So you have kind of like that cardstock page. an intro page with the 5-year diary name on it. You have blank grid right away, but only the right-hand side is numbered, and that is numbered with the number 1. The entire 5-year diary is numbered. You get 6 blank grid pages at the beginning that are numbered. After that, you get a monthly overview page. This is for the month of January. Something nice about the B6 is that I find the space for writing to be very doable. I'm not super intimidated by writing in that amount of space every day. I think the A5 totally scared me. That seemed really intimidating, especially when I share with you how I plan to use these. A5 seemed really intimidating, but this feels very, very doable. And yet, to be frank, is a very ample amount of space. And I am one of those persons that I will fit my handwriting into the grid. I have smaller handwriting anyway. So this is a really great size for me for daily entries. After that monthly overview, you do get every dated page, starting with the first of the month through the last day of the month. In the middle of the grid, you have kind of that dot to help you separate the grid down the middle. This is a cool option if you want to transform this 5-year into a 10-year. You'd be doubling the boxes. I think that's a great idea for the A5 if you have the A5 or if you're thinking about picking up the A5, because the A5 is going to have even more space, right? So I think those bigger boxes could actually work for a 10-year. But again, the B6 is a little on the smaller side, and I think that these boxes are very doable for a daily entry. So I won't be splitting it down, or at least I don't think I will be splitting it down the middle to turn this 5-year into a 10-year. You can tell that let me bring this up for you. You can tell that the stamp and the font of the book are matching. That's a very important detail, I think. Let me see if I can bring in a little bit more light. All right, there we go. Trying to get the lighting right here. It's tricky because it's the daytime. All right, and so then you have each day of the year with its own dedicated page, also numbered, and you get each day of the month until you get to the last day of the month, and then it's followed by a monthly review page, also blank. Monthly overview is at the start of the month. This review-like page is at the end. I'm using the word review to kind of describe this page, but in no means do you need to use it as a review. Just kind of something to keep in mind. There's a lot of flexibility with what you might want to use a page like this for at the end of the month and at the beginning. And so the 5-year diary carries on. All of these pages are numbered. And the book carries on until you get to the end of December. And the month of December will also have its own review page. After December is over, you have 120 pages of blank grid, which I think is such a mood, and there's so much you can do with it, and it's also numbered. And there you have the book with the outro page in the back. That's not that last page. Let's just see. Yeah, this title page at the end is not numbered. And so that is the entire Sterling Ink 5-year diary. As you notice, the gold edge pages do stick together a little bit, but that's not a big deal for me. I'm so obsessed with the gold edging, and it's really the only product, from my understanding, that is offering that kind of a look. So I'm for it. I am for it. And so that's the 5-year diary in the mist. The caramel is going to be exactly the same kind of book with the exact same layout. Let me share a little bit with you about how I plan to use this. And I hope to come back here in a month and be able to show you some of that. So what I'd like to do with the let me kind of backtrack. So, what prompted me to get these diaries is that my daughter lost her two front teeth. And I was very in my emotions and in my feelings about it. And then on the same day, and I'm pulling out an example of something. Then on the same day, I watched a YouTuber talk about her using her 5 year as a book for her children. And that idea, in combination with what had just happened with my daughter losing her baby teeth, I just immediately, I don't want to call it an impulse purchase, but it was definitely an emotional purchase. I went online and I picked up two 5 year diaries. One is going to be for my son and one is going to be for my daughter. And what I want to do is just write a little bit about them, something about them every day for 5 years plus, because I want to continue this. My hope is to write these diaries for them and to one day gift it to them as adults. My son is 5, my daughter is 7, so I think I'm going to need to do this for at least 10 years before they even care to get something like this as a gift. And that's okay. Maybe even longer, to be honestly. I don't know how much a 15-year-old would care to see this. But regardless, this is something that I would love to gift to them one day when it's done. So I started kind of thinking about what my layout was going to be, and this is a sample of what I'm thinking for those 6 blank pages at the beginning. This is that infamous day where she lost her teeth, and we got into this little this happy accident that I'm going to call it. So the 6 blank pages at the beginning, my thought is to use the first page as a like introduction or up to this point with my child, who they are up to this point, some photos of them from ages 1 through where they are now, a little bit of a summary overview of my child. Very brief. It's just one B6 page, so there's only so much I can do there. But then after that, what I want to dedicate the other 5 pages to is who my child is at the beginning of that year, who they are at the beginning of 2024, who they are at the beginning of 2025, who they are at the beginning of 2026, and so forth. And these pages, this sample is kind of what I'm thinking of doing for each of those years. A small blurb about them, some facts, their favorite things, and I'll do this for each year of the 5 year diary. And I think it'll be so cool to see how some of these things have changed from year to year to year. My son's shoe size, for example, he just keeps growing. Oh my goodness. So it'll be so interesting to see how quickly his feet grow from year to year. And this is just kind of like a rough draft. I'll have a photo of them at the beginning of that year. My son recently just got glasses, so I thought this would be a good photo to use. And so I want to track who they are at the beginning of each year of the 5 year diary in these pages at the front. That is the plan. The January overview page, I actually want to use slightly differently than an overview. What I want to do here is I want to ask them a question, or there'll be some kind of a prompt that I'll ask them to answer each month, each January for the 5 year time. And I want to record how their responses change over time. So for example, for January, I'm thinking of asking them, what do they want to be when they grow up? And then I want to document that response, and I want to see how it changes over the 5 year period of time. I think that'll be really, really cool to see what kind of changes or what stays the same. Like what, maybe there's a career choice that they're just like completely obsessed with, and we'll see that several years at a time. I don't know, we'll see. But I just think that that's a cool idea that I want to use that overview page for. For the month of February, or the following month, I want to do a different prompt or a different question. For February, I'm thinking I want to do I want them to write their name and then see how their name and the way they write it changes over a 5 year period of time. And they're young, right? They're 5. My son is 5, my daughter's 7. Their handwriting is changing a lot in these early years. So I think that'll be really, really fun to see. And I haven't completely figured out what each of the months of the year, what the prompt will be. But I'm going to have, I think, a lot of fun thinking about it, brainstorming these. If you have any ideas on like things that I could document each month over a 5-year period of time for my children, I'd love to know. Please drop them in the comments if you have any ideas. But that's something I'm really looking forward to doing. And at the end of each month, in that review like page, I'm using the word review, but it doesn't need to be that. But in this case, I actually do want it to use it as a review. And I want to highlight my favorite moment with my child that month at the end of this page. I'm hoping to also be able to coordinate it with a photo that I place in the back with a small caption, and I can just write page 70 with the photo and the caption to refer to. Because I don't really want to put photos here. I just find that these boxes are a little bit too narrow for that. But I'm happy to use the 120 pages of possibilities at the end for that kind of stuff. So that is kind of what I am thinking about doing for these 5-year diaries. I'm thinking Mist is going to be for my daughter, Caramel. I can't remember what I picked, but one is for each. I'll write things about what I observed about them, something they did, something they accomplished, something they had troubles with, something they were unhappy about. Just really anything specific about my child that day is what I want to document in these diaries. I'm really, really excited about them. And last thing before we wrap up, I want to show you the diaries in a couple of Moterm covers that I think will be a good match for these beautiful Mist and Caramel covers. So here I've got a gray Moterm. Let me zoom out just a bit. I've got a gray Moterm B6 Plus, and I've got a Dusty Rose Moterm B6 Plus. And I really like how these covers look with each of the Sterling Ink cover colors. Let me show you first Mist. This is Mist in the Moterm Pebbled Gray. Adore it. There's a lot of gray tones in the Mist color, in the Mist cover, sorry. There's a lot of gray undertones. I think Mist kind of implies like the sky and sometimes the grayness in that sky, the mistiness, the cloudiness. So I think that this is a beautiful combination and I'm really excited about it. And this will actually be for my son. I know that's very gender typical, but it's just an easy way for me to grab the book and know which child I'm talking about. So that is going in the gray, and then it's a dog eat dog world, y'all, because I initially was going to have my Paper Test Designs in this cover because look how gorgeous the sage and the dusty pink look together. I'm sorry, Dusty Rose Moterm, but I actually like the caramel in the Dusty Rose as well. And I think this cover has been kind of tough for people to match well, but here is an option that I think works really beautiful. Their warmth just really goes well together. So Paper Test Designs, I'll have to figure that out, but caramel will definitely be in this Dusty Rose cover, and I think this will be the book for my daughter. And again, it's just easy for me. I know that's very gender specific, like, so, in not, colors don't need to be gendered, but this is just a way for me to easily recognize which book is for who on my desk. And so that is my review overview chat about these beautiful 5-year diaries from Sterling Ink. I am really excited about this journey and I'm really looking forward to sharing more with you all. I'm excited about the idea of being able to gift this to them one day. While 5-year diaries are very intimidating and, they are definitely a commitment, I can't think of any reason for being more consistent than my children. Meaning, out of all the things that can keep me on my toes and force me, in a nice way, force me to do something every single day, the only power on this planet that can really force me to be so consistent is my children. And so when I was thinking about, like, I've tried 5 year diaries before and they weren't always successful, but my purpose wasn't really there. This purpose, like the intentions that I have with these, are really the thing I value most and treasure in my life. And so I can't think of a better motivating factor to make me do this every day than those two nuggets of mine that are just growing so fast that I absolutely cannot keep up. And I'm hoping to be able to relive these moments and the time that they're in right now with these diaries. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to Sterling Inc. and Catherine for releasing this beautiful product. I know that she was so inspired to use a 5 year diary for her child, and her new child that's also entered the world as well. Congratulations! I can't think of a better way to use these, and I'm really excited. And I hope to check back in a month to share how it's been going. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful day and have a happy, joyous, and blessed new year. Thank you.